back to What's Ailing America, one of your most important weapons in fighting the war on truth being waged against the people by the mainstream media. On today's show, we're going to have one of the most important shows we've ever had. I'm going to shorten my introduction so that I can tell you what the show is going to be about. You really need to have everybody you know listen to the archives of this show, people, because this show is going to go viral. I want to encourage all of you to go to my website, drcarley.com. You can learn about my work explaining and reversing vaccine-induced diseases, how I do consults, etc. There's a new YouTube video at the top of the site. You must listen to this, where 4 callers, including myself, called into C-SPAN and asked the talking head, who's supposed to be an expert in weapons of mass destruction from the Heritage Foundation, about what we're going to be talking about today. The release of bird flu virus by Baxter to 4 European countries, how the Army Institute of Pathology went to Alaska and dug up dead bodies and reconstructed the 1918 quote-unquote Spanish flu, and how our government is making biological weapons. And you really need to see the response of this minion. My guests and I love to answer your questions. On today's show, we're going to not only be talking about Jane Burgermeister's criminal lawsuit against these worldwide genocidal globalists who are planning our destruction, but we're also going to be giving you the proof that they've been planning this little operation since 1972 and perfecting it. My guest today will be Patricia Jordan, meta-analysis researcher from Illinois, Jane Burgermeister, Australian journalist who lost her job last week because of what she's doing, and veterinarian Patricia Jordan, who will clue you in on how they're now trying to force the flu vaccine on the pets as well. It's getting out of hand, folks, and you really need to wake up and realize what's going on. And for all of you that are watching that YouTube video of this minion, Garth Nicholson, talking about contaminated vaccines, what's a contaminated vaccine, folks? Contaminated vaccines is a scam. All vaccines are poison, and if you put an extra bug in there, they should consider it just another thing you're being vaccinated with if vaccinations work. So, of course, Garth Nicholson is to mycoplasma what Robert Gallo is to AIDS. He's the creator, and then he's given the credit for discovering it by the patriotic community. No, he was involved in Special Virus Cancer Program. And, oh, by the way, I just want to let you all know, another patriot hero has died of mysterious circumstances. Dr. Boyd Ed Graves, international AIDS activist, and an individual who brought a lawsuit against the government for the Special Virus Cancer Program, has now died as of June 18th, 2009. I smell a rat there too, folks. It's really amazing what's going on. But not to let you be scared. We have to realize that they're trying to take out the people that are trying to keep you safe and wake you up as to what you're spending your tax dollars on. And it's up to us to do something about it. Lastly, I just want to mention I got a letter from Nancy in Georgia telling me that people who are fearful of vaccinations and are afraid to be forced need a group strategy. That's what we're working on, folks. But to start with, just say no. What's Ailing America? For today, we're going to be talking about what has a chance of healing the world from the intended genocide, and that is the group of individuals that are going to be on this show today. I want to start with bringing on Patricia Jordan, meta-analysis researcher from Illinois, who has found the most amazing documents, one of which has been removed from the Internet, and these are memorandums from the WHO, the World Homicide Organization, from 1972, where they've explained in a scientific language, of course, the experiments they've been doing to cause a new version of killing by vaccine virus using T cells to produce the cytokine storm. Are you there, Patrick? Okay, take it away.
Hello, listeners. There is no Santa Claus. This is Pat Jordan coming to you from the Grain Ghetto, quite possibly for the last time, with the biggest expose of global crime in the history of the planet. Everyone on this planet owes their thanks to Joe Spinner. a farmer and a janitor from Oregon, who exposed the WHO memo number 1 in his book, Rockefeller Regionalism, The Shadow Behind Oregon's LCDC. Without Joe's remarkable work, we would not have been able to put the picture together. We can only bring the information to you. It's up to you to act or not act, as the case may be, because we're asking you simply to say no. There's nothing more the rest of us can do without everyone rising up as a single body against this crime, because they can pick us off separately, just like Dr. Carley is saying might have happened with Dr. Graves, but they can't kill the entire planet unless you roll your sleeve up for a vaccine. The very future of mankind is up to you. Now, here's the history, folks. World War III began in 1790. I didn't make a mistake. World War III began in 1790. The first shot was fired by Edward Jenner at James Phipps. It killed him. The princes of the moon and sun, you know as the Ilu Amun Atis, conspired against mankind to enslave it with inoculations of chimeric pus. And I'm saying the true name of the Illuminati as education, not as an evocation. World War I began in 1915 with the release of the pertussis vaccine. The bacterial poison from whooping cough called pertussis toxin is used in the laboratories today to turn off neutrophils. It turns off white blood cells. It turns off the immune system. In 1918, soldiers deployed from the United States into Europe were given an unknown vaccine. And I got to emphasize here, folks, if you are approached by somebody with a needle or something in a vial, unless you made it yourself, you have no idea what is in there. Once these troops were overseas, they were exposed to lewisite gas, which is an arsenic compound, and phosgene gas, which is a chlorine compound. We don't know what triggered it, but their immune systems kicked in with a cytokine storm and killed young people in the best of health. World War II began well before 1941, when every United States military man was considered to have at least one mandatory tetanus vaccine. The bacterial poison from tetanus toxin increases the growth of viruses. The first Gulf War began well before 1990, when the bacterial poison from anthrax was injected into them. In 1968, the Pentagon spent $30 million of your tax dollars to study witchcraft and sorcery in Africa and snake venoms in the Middle East. And now we get to the heart of the matter here, folks. In 1972, the World Health Organization Bulletin, Volume 47, Number 2, Memoranda Number 2, says that the use of cobra venom can deplete the complement system, making laboratory virus infections less lethal. Now, in law enforcement, it said there are no coincidences. When we take all these separate facts, we can paint a picture outlined in the WHO Memorandum Number 1, where they found virus infections make antibody and antigen complexes. These circulating immune complexes can clog blood vessels or implant in tissue, making the body eventually attack itself. The main focus of this WHO study was kidney disease, resulting from purposely infecting test animals with virus. And whenever I say test animal, you can always substitute human being. They would take the test animal that either had been bred with immunodeficiency or they used cancer chemotherapy drugs to cause the immunodeficiency. Then they would load the animal up with an otherwise lethal virus. But since the cell-mediated immunity was suppressed, every single cell